Hi everyone out there, this is Black American Indian, and I am here to just discuss my genetic results face to face. I'm just super duper excited about it. One thing I do have to say about my results is that there were some surprises, and also it just, I guess, enticed that inner um, desire to know more, because when it puts a dot on the map where you have a similar genetic makeup with people that lived or live currently in the world, it doesn't narrow down the ethnicity. Um, and I kind of knew that, but now it's like, okay, I really want to know which ethnicities within that country or within that island that my genetic makeup is matching up to. So, but yeah, I really like spent so many hours all over the internet contacting DNA tribes via email because they don't take calls. It's whatever, but they don't. And just trying to get a straight answer on my results. So I kept getting the same response from DNA form, which was a very kind of a generic, response that I actually read on their website. I did get a little bit extra information from that person about my indigenous American ancestry, but I didn't get the straightforward answer that I thought I was going to get. So I just hunted around to different websites, and then I kind of stumbled across DNA forums. This one, what was it called? DNA blog or something like that. And I met someone on that website that really knows her stuff. And so I just pretty much show her the same clip that I posted on YouTube about my results, and she was just amazed at my results. And she wanted to know more too, and she was pretty much recommending um, different tests that I can get done in the near future, because DNA testing is not cheap, you know. And if you really want a thorough, I guess, result, like I want to say it's 23andMe or one of them, that you'll probably spend about $2,000, $2,000 for them to really narrow it down to, an ethnicity, ethnic group in a particular country. But I don't have that kind of money. So I'm gonna take it one day at a time. Let's just put it that way, or one year at a time. Maybe during tax season, I'll get an additional test, because not all populations are represented in DNA Tribes database or any other DNA testing database system. They just don't represent all populations. So eventually they'll add more populations to their DNA database, and they even you know, um, they suggested to, update your DNA testing, pretty much to get more money out of you, but just letting you know that you can also um, have your results updated, and it may show uh, more scores or whatever. But anyway, so right now I'm just kind of surprised that my results from Part C had a strong Caribbean, Cape Verde presence as far as my similarity, genetic makeup to people that live there today. Again, I don't know which ethnic group within those countries. I don't know if it's the I don't know, the natives, indigenous people, which is a very small population, but I don't know if it's those people or uh, migrants from West Africa, or um, migrants from France or UK or Portugal or Spain. it doesn't tell you. But yeah, I was just very excited about it. Um, as far as my West African results, I wasn't really surprised. But the more I dug into it, I noticed that for what is it? Tanzania, Tanzania, yeah, Tanzania. Sorry, the first one that was on my native population. What was it? Part B. That's what it was. Um, I did a little bit more research on that country, and apparently there's two states. There's Zanzibar and then Tangier or something that makes up Tanzania. Um, and centuries ago, actually, a lot of indigenous Tanzania people, meaning black, sub-Saharan, pureblood, were being invaded by the Arabian nations in India. And so there was a lot of mixing and going on. You know, my ancient ancestry, it was a lot of mixing going on. Also in Guinea-Bissau, which popped up on all three of my maps actually, B, C, and D, which I'm sure I have a really strong connection with the indigenous people there, meaning black, pure, sub-Saharan, because of the African diaspora with the slave trade and everything like that. But I did more research, and apparently Portugal has a huge influence on that country. They speak Portuguese, and also the Portuguese, they had this thing about mixing, pretty much meaning having their way with the locals and having children. And they did it on purpose because they believed that um, it would help race relations, I guess, or maybe to dilute the African blood to kind of eventually, they'll be extinct. I don't know. I don't know. But they purposely wanted to mix the races. Um, but unlike, British, they just pretty much wanted to have a good time and just be conquerors. And I think the Spaniards was the same way. But the Portuguese, I was surprised that they actually wanted to uh, have mixed children with the African Guinea-Bissau women. And so a lot of that mixing was going on centuries ago. Um, and then Equatorial Guinea, which is also on the west coast of Africa, but it's like the tropical section of Africa. Spain has a huge presence there. They speak Spanish, and I want to say they speak Portuguese too, but I think mainly Spanish. And yeah, a lot of those people there, sub-Saharan black, were mixing with the Spaniards. So you have like a Hispanic kind of presence there as well. So back to my results. Once I dove into the African side, because I was very interested in, figuring out which country, and, it just feels good to have a connection with the people, and it got surprisingly more complicated. It's not white or black, there are a lot of gray areas, and just to know that there's so many different ethnic groups and a lot of people mixing, and due to the slave trade and everything. Yeah, that was very interesting. Um, Also, Cape Verde, I was blown away when I saw that on the highest resolution um, map, which was Part C of my results. Cape Verde was the yellow highest top level country, or whatever you want to call it, where my genetic makeup is really close to those people there. Now, I'm trying to understand if the results are based